All Time Low, and before that, Katy Perry.
BBC Radio.
So then, I'm with a man who's actually worked with Katy Perry.
I have.
You have?
Yeah. We did Waking Up in Vegas with her.
Yeah, you got kicked out of a hotel room.
Well, first of all, at the end of it, we kicked her out of the hotel room.
Oh, okay.
That was the gag there. We end up winning. I mean, Katy Perry's career is built around the idea that Penn and Teller eventually will overcome.
You will topple her.
Sure.
Yeah. Essentially what you're saying is that you are the California Girls.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm pleased you said your name there as well, because I thought we might launch into a discussion about Katy Perry, and people will go, who is this man that they're talking to? So this is
the way Katy Perry sounds before the production. She sounds just like this.
That's right. Once they kick the auto-tune in, it sounds completely different. So you are Penn, and
yes, I am.
Teller isn't here.
No, he's not. He's no reason for him to get up.
Yeah, the thing is, it wouldn't make much of a difference because Teller never speaks.
He does not speak publicly. No, privately he talks constantly, rather annoyingly.
Okay,
but professionally, in order to keep our careers going, he doesn't talk.
I remember seeing a thing on one of your shows a few years ago with a truck, which always sticks in my mind, where you ran over Teller's head, and then gave a few options of how you had done that.
We did the Prince's Trust many years ago, and I got to meet Prince Charles.
Because he's a big Magic fan, right?
Yeah.
He's an honorary member of the Magic Circle.
He said to me, which I thought was very funny, because it almost seemed like it was something he had to say to prove he was English. He said, "Oh, you're the chap that runs over the other fellow with the fully articulated lorry."
What better epitaph to have than that? Yeah.
And I thought, well, that's pretty good, because we just say you ran over that guy with the truck.
The articulated lorry.
And chap was in there too. It was like it was written by Dick Van Dyke for Mary Poppins.
It's the perfect sentence to hear from the future King of England.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Every interview, a lot of interviews, when we first hit Broadway in New York, interviewers would say, it's a standard question, what trick have you always wanted to do and never been able to do? And I had this one answer I gave all the time, just off the cuff, which I would just say, I want to put Teller down on the street and run over his face with an 18-wheeler.
Yeah.
And we haven't done that yet. Figuring, there's a safe one, because you're not going to get an 18-wheeler or fully articulated lorry on stage, and we're not going to figure out how to do that. The head of NBC, he just called up and said, how much? I said, well, he said, how much for you to run over Teller's head with an 18-wheeler? I said, what? So let's do a TV special and end with that trick. How much do you want? And we made a deal, and then Teller and I sat down in the room, and I said, well, now we've got to do it. So they closed off 6th Avenue in New York City, and we had it right in front of Radio City, and we worked about 8 months on building that stupid truck with the tires and the counterweights and everything else. And then, while we're doing all that, I had to go to tractor trailer school, because I was driving an 18-wheeler that had to be driven very smoothly, and it was a very hard truck to drive.
Because you're essentially driving on just one half of the wheels.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And, it had to go smoothly, and it was for TV, and also it had to go right. And so, that trick, I'm a little bit bitter about it, because everybody said, how brave and wonderful Teller is. And I'm the one that had to work so hard driving the truck. He just had to lay there.
Again, another lazy morning for Teller.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm just going to go lay under a truck.
Okay, we've got the image of the truck going over Teller's head. We know that he is pretty much the lazy one, right? We can say that.
Absolutely.
He's putting in 10%, you're putting in 90%.
Absolutely.
But let's wake him up now with a bit of Khalees. And we haven't actually planned this. This genuinely is in the schedule. It's a song called Trick Me.
This is it.